So we are good to go.
Okay.
Okay, welcome once again, participants. So what we were discussing in the last session.
Ma'am, the screen has gone, huh?
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Now it is visible, sir?
Ji, it is visible now.
Okay,
Yes, we had got the output. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we have talked about the level of significance in the last session, and now I'm just revising the conclusion part of this normality test. This is the results of Shapiro-Wilk statistics. That is, statistic is 0.954. Okay, and Shapiro-Wilk p-value is 0.336. If p-value in any kind of normality test, like we have in SPSS, we have KS test along with the Shapiro-Wilk test, and in MYSTAT we have the Shapiro-Wilk test. And when we talk about the finance, in the finance, when you are analyzing any kind of panel data or time series, you are having JAR-Q-BARA test. Okay, all the tests are actually indicating one thing: if p-value is greater than 0.05, it means that data is normal. So you can see clearly over here that the p-value in case of Shapiro-Wilk test, it is 0.336. It is greater than 0.05, so it means our data is normal. Okay, so I'm talking, one of the teacher was talking about what is the difference between the p-value and the level of significance. See, level of significance is a standard. Okay, it is the fixed one, that is 5% level of significance is there in case of social sciences, 1% that is fixed in case of medical sciences. So it is a fixed level, that is 5%. But when we talk about the probability, it can be more than the level of significance, it can be less than the level of significance. If it is less than the level of significance, okay, like here, if it is less than the level of significance, results are different. If it is more than the level of significance, results are different. Okay, so it means whatever value we are getting as a p value, we are going to compare that p value with a standard, that is 0.05. so that standard is called a level of significance, and p value are the different values that we are going to have from the by applying different kinds of tests. Okay, so these are the difference between the p value and the level of significance. Level of significance is a standard which is set out, okay, in order to make a decision, and then whatever in the results, whatever we are getting, that is the p value, and we are going to compare that p value with that standard, that is level of significance. Okay, so both are different things. Now I'm moving further. I was talking about the one sample t-test. Okay, so this is the PPT I want to show over here. So these are the commands which I have already talked about. So these are the procedure which we need to follow in case of assessing the normality in Microsoft Excel. Now, how to open a file in MYSTAT? मैं बता चुकी हूँ, I have already covered up. How to open a file in MYSTAT? So these are the things, and these are the steps to check the normality in MYSTAT. Okay, Shapiro-Wilk test, if p-value is greater than 0.05, the sample normality can be assumed. Okay, so these are the things we have covered up, and these are the results of normality. Okay, so I have clearly mentioned each and everything in my PPT. Okay, whatever I'm discussing. Okay, so now how to apply one sample t-test. Okay, I'm opening the file in Microsoft Excel. Actually, I'm opening the file in Microsoft Excel, how to apply one sample t-test. Okay, so I hope you remember, in one sample t-test, we are going to compare our sample mean with the population mean. Okay, we are going to compare a sample mean with the population mean. So I'm just opening the file, that is the t-test file. This is the main file. On the same file of the gender, and it includes the study hours. I think file is visible to you all participants. Sir, file is visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Ma'am.
so this is the main file, and I'm going to apply the simple t-test over here. Simple one sample t-test. One sample means I'm going to include all these 24 observations. I have the data set of 24 people. ओके ये 25 इसलिए है कि ऊपर जो मेन है वो लेबल है, लेबल्स हैं. The first row includes the labels, that is why counting is 24. Otherwise we have 20 data of 24 respondents. Okay, we have the data of 24 respondent, and it includes both male and female, but we are not bothered about the male and female. We are going to perform one sample t-test. It means I'm talking about the whole sample. I'm talking about the data of 24 people in total. And I'm going to compare the mean of this whole 24 participants or respondent. Total 24 respondents का जो mean है, I'm going to compare the mean of this total 24 respondent with the population mean, and population mean will be a hypothesized value. Hypothesized value means the value which I have derived from the extensive review of literature. Okay, and I am assuming the value which I derived from the extensive review of literature is closer to my population. That is why I am using that value. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do it is I need to click on this is the simple file I have opened, and now I need to click on the MYSTAT. So I'm going to my desktop. Okay, and I'm clicking on this. Okay, I'm clicking on the this MYSTAT. Okay, then I will have to click on enable macros. And along with this, I will have this add-ins options on my Excel file. Now, add-ins, then click on MYSTAT, and then I have this kind of test, hypothesis testing. And in this, I am having mean versus hypothesized value. Okay, so this is the one sample t-test in which I'm comparing the value of sample, that is mean of sample, with the hypothesized value, or you can say population value. Okay, so I'm clicking over here. Okay, I need to do over here. I need to give the data. So what should I select over here? I'll select study hours. The data of 24 things. Okay. And hypothesize mean, suppose my population mean is 6. I have some mean of my sample, and I want to compare my sample mean with the hypothesized mean, means population mean, which is 6. Okay, suppose it is 6. Suppose from the review of literature, I have analyzed that on an average across India, the students or kids used to study 6 hours in a day. Okay, so this is the population value, or you can say hypothesized mean. Okay, and here the T option is already clicked over here, already checked over here. So hypothesized means 6 here, and then I'm clicking on the OK. It is very much simple. So output sheet is opened over here, okay, which I told you earlier about it. Before the sheet 1, there is a new sheet open, that is output sheet, and I am having the results. So these are the results. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking all these results on my whiteboard. Okay, so what I'm trying to do over here is I'm just having a shot of these results. Okay, yes. Okay, and going back to the board. I think board is visible to you all. Board is visible, whiteboard is visible. Okay, so what I'm trying to do. Okay, first let me have the glance over the results. What does these results indicate? Okay, so these are the results. The first one is our population value. 6. 6 is our population mean. And in statistics, we denote population mean as mu. Okay, so this is mu is 6. Okay, this is 6. Okay, now talk about this is mean. If you remember, when we perform descriptive statistics, okay, when we perform descriptive statistics in Excel earlier in the earlier session, so we were having this mean. Okay, this mean is, this is the X bar. This is the sample mean. Okay, that is 4.375. So I have already told you earlier about this. Parameter tests are those which are intended towards making the comparison. So I am going to compare this 6 value with this 4.375. So I'm comparing this value with this 6 with 4.375. Okay. So what is the difference over here? What is the difference? So you need to find out the difference. So I am very much interested in finding out whether this difference is significant or not. Is the difference between 6 and 4.35 is a significant difference, or it is a difference which we can ignore and conclude that sample mean and the population mean both are same. 19-20 का फर्क है और या 19-20 से ज्यादा का फर्क. ओके, 5% का फर्क है तो कोई फर्क नहीं मानेंगे हम. ओके, if the difference is of 5%, so we can digest that difference and we can say that both are same. But if difference is more than 5%, it means both are not same. There is a difference, significant difference between the population and the sample mean. Okay, so what we are going to do over here is, so this is the p value. Look at the results. This is the p value. This p value is less than 0.05. And for one sample t-test, what was my null hypothesis? My null hypothesis was there is no difference. There is no significant difference between mu and x bar. मतलब sample mean or population mean में there is no significant difference is there between population mean and the sample mean. This is my null hypothesis. If my p value is less than 0.05, we can reject the null hypothesis. Okay, like you can say in normal distribution, इस एरिया में आ रहा है हमारा, लेस देन 0.5 है तो ये इस एरिया में आ रहा है. ओके, यहाँ पर हम क्या करते हैं, रिजेक्ट करते हैं. ओके, सो वी कैन से ये जो एरिया शेडेड एरिया है हमारा, दिस इज द रिजेक्शन पार्ट. ओके, सो दिस इज द रिजेक्शन पार्ट. सो वी कैन से that our hypothesis is rejected. Null hypothesis is rejected if p value less than 0.05. So what we can conclude over here? Our hypothesis is rejected because our p value is the less than 0.05. It means this statement is rejected. It means this statement is wrong. It means there is significant difference between mu and x bar. So what are the research conclusion over here? These are the results of a test. What kind of interpretation you can make out from this result? So you have to think it further, because due to by having the extensive review of literature, you are having the value of 6. It means on an average in India, student used to study for the 6 hours. But in your sample, it comes 4.35. And your results are showing there is a significant difference. It means the claim of the earlier researcher is not same as your study, what your study tells. It means there are some other conditions which are prevailing in your sample. So there are some other factors in your sample, other things in your sample which are responsible for this low value of study hours. Why in your sample you need to chalk out now why in your sample students are having less study hours as compared to your population mean. Because here the test, because here the test supported that there is a significant difference. Now in your research you have to report what are the reasons why there is a significant difference, why the study hours of your study hour of the student of your sample are lower than the earlier studies. So this is your interpretation and this is your recommendation. You have to interpret according to your logic and according to your rationale ki why in your sample, because the test depicts ki there is a significant difference. Yes, in your sample students are devoting less time for their study, that is 4.375 as compared to the whole India, that is 6. But now you have to report the reasons ki why. There can be so many factors. Maybe the education system is not actually education system on the perception of the parents and the other things are not same as the other parts of the India. Okay, so you need to report those reasons why uh, there is less value of study hours in your sample as compared to population mean. This is the main contribution of a research. Okay, so keep in mind this thing always in your mind, please. When you are going to apply any kind of test only give the results. Test does not give any kind of interpretation. Interpretation, being a researcher, you have to write by your own. You have to report the reasons ki why the case is such in your area, in your sample, ki study hours are less than the other areas in the India. So you need to report that this is the actual contribution of your study in this topic. I think I'm clear to you all. Okay, so now I'm talking about the other things. These are the things like how, what are the this thing, how this thing comes, that is 0.380, that is 1.861. So these are the results which we derived from the uh, Microsoft Excel. Okay, so here the hypothesis is rejected. Now I'm going to perform the same test in the MYSTAT. Okay, so how we are going to do that? I'm performing the same step in Microsoft, in MYSTAT. So I am opening the MYSTAT.
Rashmi madam, I think we can take the questions towards the end if that is okay with you.
Okay, so I'm attaching the file, open, then click on the data and then click on the desktop, and in desktop I'm having my file in here, and I'm clicking on the all type files. Okay, and I'm clicking on the t-test. Okay, so now I'm going to perform the same test with the help of MYSTAT. Analyze. This is hypothesis testing. This is the mean, because I'm comparing the mean of sample with the mean of population. Okay, so this is, and this is one sample t-test, and I am having a brief description. Sir, what I was talking earlier in the before the session, Rahul sir, it also give some little bit description about the test. Like here, one sample t test I'm going to perform. So I'm having a brief description about the test. Compare the sample mean with the specified mean given by you. So I have entered a 6 value na, that I have
Yes.
given. Okay. By using t statistics, and for multiple t test statistics, p value
Okay.
adjustment can be there. So I'm clicking on one sample t test. Now, which variable I want to test? So that is study hours. I'm adding this. And what is the mean value to which I'm going to compare the mean, my sample mean, that is 6.
6.
Okay, and then clicking on OK. Oh, okay. और देखिए, one of the best thing is that यहाँ पर normality का कर्व अपने आप बना आ जाता है. So you do not need to check the normality separately actually. Okay. So this is the one sample t-test. देखिए बहुत अच्छा normal distribution. How nice it is. Now where are the results? Okay, results are here. If it is visible, we are having one sheet as start page, and then we are having untitled. So when we click on the untitled, okay, we are having the results. So we are having the results. तो सर ये SPSS में क्या होता है, हमारे पास 2 शीट अलग अलग खुलती हैं. We need to switch over. हमें डाटा से फिर आउटपुट पे बार बार जाना पड़ता है, लेकिन यहाँ पर सेम विंडो में मुझे स्विच ओवर नहीं करना पड़ रहा. सेम विंडो में मुझे सिर्फ शीट पे क्लिक करना है और I will have the results. So these are the results actually. Okay, so I am taking these results on the board. So I will explain all these things one by one. I think board is visible to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So mean is very much known to everybody. What is mean? Mean is the total of study hours divided by 24. 24 is the number of persons. Okay. Now this is 95% confidence interval. This is one of the most important thing. Okay. Standard deviation is known to everyone. Okay. Degree of freedom is known to everyone. Okay. It is n-1, that is 23. Now I'm talking about the 95% confidence interval. What exactly is this? What is this? This is the 95% confidence interval. So this is the one of the most important thing. Okay. So what should I do over here? I have explained this thing over here in the PPT. If you can have, this is the things. Whatever I'm going to explain you, it is already written over here. Okay. So do not panic about it. Actually, I'm taking a photo of the calculation so that it will be a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm going to explain each and everything with you people. What does this 95% confidence interval mean? Okay, and how we are going to calculate. Okay, so first of all, in order to find out the confidence interval, we have a formula. What is that formula? That is x bar plus minus standard error into table value of t. Okay, and what is the standard error? Standard error का मतलब क्या होता है? How the sample value deviate from the population value on an average. Okay, so we capture it as a standard error. तो हमारा सैंपल पॉपुलेशन से जितना दूर होता है उतना ही स्टैंडर्ड एरर बढ़ता चला जाता है. So being a researchers, we need to minimize this standard error. Error means deviation of our sample from the population. Okay, closer our sample will be with the population, lesser will be our standard error. Okay, so these are the limits. X bar minus ये left में है standard error into table value of t, and then x bar plus standard error multiplied by table value of t. Okay, what is the x bar over here? This 4.375. And what is the standard error over here? This is I think standard error is not written over here. So we need to calculate. It is the standard deviation divided by under root n. Okay. So what is the standard deviation? 1.861. and divided by under root 24. Okay, so this is the standard error, and it is already calculated in our Excel result. It is already calculated in. So we need to. This is the standard error. Okay, this is standard deviation divided by root n. Okay, and multiply by table value. And what is the table value? I think I will show you the table value of t. How we are going to that. This is what is given in the books. Okay, I'm talking about the t-test. So in the t-test, I'm having a table that is actually already on at the end, on the end pages of the book. So in that, so this is what I'm talking about, the table values of t. So what is the degree of freedom I'm having? I'm having the 24 respondent in my file. The degree of freedom is 24 minus 1, that is 23. So I'm pointing out here that is 23, and then I'm going to the 5% level of significance, that is 0.05. So table value of t at 0.05 level of significance with given degree of freedom 23 is 2.069. Okay, so it is there 2.069. So what I'm going to do, I'm just making calculations that here 2.069. Okay, and same is here 4.375 plus standard error 2.069. Okay, so with these calculation, I'm going to have a value that is 3.56. Okay, 3.59, the same value. Okay, and with these calculations, I'm going to have this value, that is 5.16. Okay, so this is the lower limit and this is the upper limit. So I'm talking about what does this confidence interval mean? This confidence interval means this is a normal curve, this is the lower limit, and this is upper limit. Lower limit is this, and this is upper limit. If my value, if my mean lies here, if my mean lies here, I'm accept the hypothesis. And if my mean lies here, I will reject the hypothesis. Now look at the mean. What is the value of my mean? That is 4.375. It lies between these or not? Okay. It lies. It is 4.375. Okay. It is these are the confidence limit. Okay. So these are the confidence limit, that is 4.375. It means when we talk about the mean and the these are the confidence limit, that is 3.59 and this is 4.3. Our sample mean is 4.375, and what was our test value? That is 6. Okay, our test value is 6. I'm just writing down 6 value over here. Our value, test value is 6. So it lies in the acceptance region or rejection region. 5.16 इधर आएगी ना, तो 6 would be somewhere here. So it means this 6 value lies over here, that is it is lies in the rejection area. Okay, so it is lies in the rejection area. It means our hypothesis is rejected. Okay, look at the results over here. Look at the results. P value low. Look at the results. P value low, let the hypothesis go. And same is the confirmed with the confidence limit, because the 6 value is lying in rejection area. So our hypothesis automatically got rejected. Okay, let me check the thing. Suppose I want to check some other value, that is 4. Suppose I want to check another value, that is 4. Okay, I want to check another value, that is 4 instead of 6. So what would be my results? I'm damn sure, because 4 lies between 3.59 and 5.16. So my hypothesis would be accepted. So I will have a look over here. So you can test over here. Okay, so I have applied this test with the hypothesized value 6, and my hypothesis got rejected. What if the test value is 6? Oh, sorry, 4. So I'm hypothesis testing, then mean, and then one sample t-test. Okay, now I'm testing this test with value 4. Okay, now see the results. See the results. P value is 0.334. Why? Why p value is 0.334? Why our hypothesis? If p value low, we will reject the hypothesis. If p value high, we will accept the hypothesis. Here now the p is less than greater than 0.05. So we will accept the hypothesis. And now you can see over here also on the whiteboard, because now a 4 value, this 4 value comes between these limits, 3.59 and 5.16. Just like in the example I said, if my shade lies between these two limits, so I will accept the shade. And if my shade lies beyond these limits, I will reject the shade. Same is the case here. My value 6 lies beyond this confidence limit. Confidence limits are 3.5 and 5.16. And my test value 6, it lies beyond this limit. That is why I rejected my hypothesis. And if my value is 4, it lies between this confidence. I have full confidence. Okay, my value is 4. It means my hypothesis is accepted. So what I'm trying to explain you over here is, these are my confidence limits, and if I test the okay, these are the results for the 6, and what are the results for the 4? For the 4, we have the p value 0.33 something. It means here for the value of 4, our hypothesis got accepted, because our 4 value lies between these limit ना. तो मैं एक बात बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर कर देना चाहती हूँ कि समटाइम्स जो अच्छे रिसर्च पेपर्स होते हैं जहाँ पे रिव्यूअर्स होते हैं, they do not look at only the p values, they look at the confidence interval also. If I'm not having any kind of p value, if I'm only having the confidence interval, I can also make my results better ki whether my hypothesis is accepted or rejected. I do not need any kind of p value. If I will be given only the confidence interval, my confidence interval is 3.59 and 5.16. And if I will be given only value 6, I do not need any p value. I know this 6 is falls in the rejection area, so I do not need any p value. It means our hypothesis is rejected. If I will be given to test the value of 4, and I am only having the confidence interval, then also I can make a conclusion that 4 value lies between these my confidence limit. It means 95% confidence I am having regarding my test. It means I will accept my hypothesis. So confidence limit plays an important role. It is not only the p value through which you can accept or reject the null hypothesis. The second clue you can get from the confidence interval. From the confidence interval also, in the absence of p value, you can also make out the interpretation. You can also make out the results that your hypothesis is rejected or not. Okay, so these are the things which I want to clear, because ये बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं जो टिक 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 करके it would be easy to get the results, but to have the deep interpretation of the results, ताकि आपको अगर एक टेस्ट, अगर इफ यू आर हैविंग इन डेप्थ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ वन टेस्ट, तो आपके आगे वाले सारे टेस्ट इजी हो जाएंगे. So I hope all of you are very much clear about what does confidence interval means. Okay, and what does p value means, and what is the interpretation of the p value if it is less than 0.05. So I used to say this thing: if p value low, let the hypothesis go. If p value low, let the hypothesis go. Okay, आप इसको याद कर सकते हैं. Okay, so I think these things are clear. Now we are moving further towards the next test. Now we'll be moving towards two independent sample t-test. In two independent sample t-test, we are just talking about the sample. Forget about the population. We are talking about the sample. In the sample, we are talking about the category. Suppose in the same example, which I was talking about earlier, in the same example, I am having the data of study hours, and I wish to compare the study hours of males and females, girls and boys. Whether girls used to study more than the boys, or whether boys used to study more than the girls. I want to check it. Okay, so I want to compare the study hours of boys and the girls. It means I want to compare. It means parametric test. If I am having the comparison word, and I'm not talking about the population, so I will not apply one sample t-test. I will apply two independent sample t-test. Okay, and how I'm going to perform that? So in MYSTAT, so I'm going back to the MYSTAT. In the same file, I'm going to perform independent sample t-test. Here, I'm not talking about any hypothesized mean, that is 6 value or 4 value. I'm just talking about this sample only, and I'm talking about the males as well as females. So I'm going to compare the study hours of males with the study hours of the females in this sample only. So I'm going to apply two independent sample t-test. So what are the steps over here? Analyze. In analyze me, I'm having hypothesis testing, then mean, and then I'm having two sample t-test. Okay. And there is a brief description about it. Compare means from two groups. It is very much clear from here. It compare two groups. Okay. So two groups are there, that is boys and the girls. So two sample t-test. Then what I'm going to test? I'm going to test the study hours. And what is my group? My grouping variable means the variable which contains group. So what is a variable over here that contains the group? The gender is the variable which contains the two group, the one for boys and two for the girls. Okay, so I'm shifting this into this grouping variable. Okay, and then I'm clicking on the confidence is 95%. 95% confidence ke saath we are going to compare the study hours of boys with the study hours of the girls. Now clicking on the OK. So these are the results. And you will be surprised to see we are having the normality curve of both the categories separately. So this is the beauty of the MYSTAT software. In the SPSS, we need to check the normality of the boys and the normality of the girls separately. Okay, for performing independent t-test. Now here you will be come up with the beautiful graphs, and you can take the screenshot of the graphs or paste all these graphs on your Word file, on your research papers and other, especially in the PhD work or in any kind of project work, you can use those graphs. Okay, so these are the results. So let me interpret these results. Okay, in the two sample t-test, we are having the results, and these are the results. I'm taking these results on the board so that I can explain you in a better way. I think board is visible.
Yes.
Sir, board is
Yes,
visible.
yes, madam. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
now what is the null hypothesis in two independent sample t-test? Okay, so I'm talking about the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis, there is no significant difference between study hours of boys and girls. Okay, so this is my null hypothesis. I want to check. So first of all, I need to have a look at the study hours of the boys and girls. So these are the study hours of the boys, that is mean 5. This is for the boys and this is 3.75 for the girls. Okay, I need to check the difference. Whether this difference is ये 19-20 का फर्क है या सच में फर्क है. अगर ये 19-20 का मतलब if this difference is occurs due to by chance, that means there is no difference. Okay, so there are two information over here: separate variance and the pooled variance. ये बहुत important बात है. When we perform independent sample t-test, we have two results. One is for the separate variance and one is for pooled variance. SPSS में भी same आता है. Okay, now we need to decide upon कि वे इन दोनों में से which one we are going to take in our study, which results, and this decision based on the variance test. This decision is based on the variance test. Okay, why variance? Why we need to perform a variance test? Okay, so let me take one example. 5 boys are there and 5 girls are there. Okay, I have given a test of 5 marks. Okay, 5 boys are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 girls are there. A test is given. 5 marks का test है, ये किया. Okay, all the girls have scored 3, sorry. Okay, and the boys have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boys have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Girls have scored 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, calculate mean. X bar for boys. Take out the total. 5, 4, 9, 3. Total 15. 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5. It is 3. And what is the X bar for girls? It also come up 3. 15 divided by 5, 3. Apparently, the mean of boys and girls are same. It means this test will give results. There is no difference between boys and girls. Okay, because both are same, there is no difference. But by having a deep look into the series, both are same. No, girls are performing consistently as compared to boys. By having a deep look into the series, girls are somewhere consistent in performance as compared to boys. We cannot conclude that both are same. There are no variations in the girls' performance. I repeat, there are no variations in the girls' performance and there are variations in the boys' performance. It means their standard deviation is 0, variance is 0, and here variance has some value like 1.37. Suppose. It means just by having a comparison of mean, we cannot get good results. We need to have a glance over the variations. That is why we need to compare, we need to perform a variance test. So please understand it. before running any kind of independent sample t-test, we need to perform a variance test on the series. Okay, so that we are able to chalk out whether there is a difference in the variations or not. Here, suppose if we take this example, here there are difference in the variations. Okay, यहाँ पर variance standard deviation is 0 and here there are some variations. So we cannot say that on in the context of variability both boys and girls are same. Okay, if both are same in terms of variability, like suppose girls also having the same variations like 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The girls are having this marks 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It means both are having the same variations. Same variation. In case of same variations, we can have this. We can use this analysis. When the variance is same, we can read out this part. And if variance are not same, we can read out this part. Okay, so we need to decide which part we will going to show in our research. So we need to calculate, we need to perform a variance test. So how we are going to perform this variance test? I'm going back to the MYSTAT. In the same file, I'm going to analyze. So these are the steps how we are going to perform a variance test. Okay, analyze, hypothesis testing, variance. Okay, whether two variants are equal or not, and then equality of variance. Okay, so you will have a short description over here. Compare the variance for two groups of a variable. Okay, and the data should be in the form of grouping variable. We are having the data in the form of grouping variable. Okay, so I'm clicking over here, equality of two variants. Now I'm going to study the study hours and I'm going to compare across the gender. It means boys or girls. Okay, then I'm clicking on the OK. So I'm performing variance test over here. Equality of two variances. So these are the results. So these are the results, equality of two variances. Okay, and the p-value is 0.634. And what was the null hypothesis? There is no difference in the variances. And I have already told you about p-value decision rule. If p-value low, let the hypothesis go. And here p-value is high, it means hypothesis accepted. And what was the hypothesis? There is no difference in the variances. It means variances are same. Okay, so this test supports that variances are same. Okay, and you can also make out this interpretation from here. They have the देखिए peakness और जो spread है जो हमारे कर्व का है ये this is red जो normal कर्व है और जो blue है दोनों का spread same है, deviations दोनों की same है. Okay, it means the variance of both the group are same. Okay, so now from the variance test we have concluded that variance of both the groups are same. There is no significant difference between the variances of the both the groups as the p-value is high, hypothesis accepted. Now we are moving further towards the result of this test. So now can anybody tell me from the participants कि now there is no difference in the variance are same, so what part we are going to report in our research? The first one or second one? Separate variance or the pooled variance? You can type in the chat box if you are understanding. Okay, yes, pooled. Yes, pooled one. Very good. It means you are understanding everything. So there is no difference in the variances. According to the variance, both are the same. So now we can report the results of the t-test here. Now, so what are the results? So these are the results. P-value. Okay. Here p-value is high. P-value is here p-value is greater than 0.05. If p-value is less than 0.5, hypothesis rejected. If it is greater than, hypothesis accepted. Accept means there is no difference between the study hours of boys and girls. These are the study hours of boys and girls. These are the 5 and 3.75. The test suggests that there is no difference in the study hours of boys and girls. So being a researcher, आपको इसकी interpretation करनी है. So what would be the interpretation? कि 5, though there exists some difference between 5 and 375, but statistically it is not significant. It can be, the difference can be due to sampling fluctuations, due to small sample. If we will increase the sample size, the sample, the study hours of girls would be closer to the study hours of boys. There is no significant difference. Okay, so these are the interpretation of the independent t-test results. Okay, yahan tak if anybody wants to ask any question, then we will proceed further for the paired sample t-test. If anybody wants to ask any question.
I think Rashmi madam, if you can raise your question so that it is answered in time. IT team, can we unmute Rashmi madam quickly?
Yes, hello.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. Ma'am, one question related to the topic that we are covering right now. Here
Okay.
we have right now tested the variance, right?
Okay.
So while testing the variance in that sheet, there are 2 columns for variance of boys and variance of girls.
Yes, ma'am.
The value says 2.6 or something for the first and 3.7 for the. Ma'am, can you go to the, yes, something like this.
Yes.
Okay. So, but by doing this variance test, we assume that there is no variance.
No difference in the variance, ma'am.
No difference.
Variances are there, but difference is not significant.
Okay, so this 2.7 and 3.6 are considered to be not significant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
so there is no significant difference between the variance. We can assume that both are same. ये 19-20 का फर्क है ये.
Okay.
जो मैंने आपको पहले बताया था. हम मान के चलते हैं कि difference is of 19 and 20, so we can assume both are same.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, got it. And ma'am, in the previous one, wherein we are assuming this 95% confidence level, where you're explaining that.
Okay.
You have been mentioning test value of 6.
Yes, test value of 6.
Yeah.
Yes, I can show you. Just a minute. I can show you in the PPT. Actually, I have everything in my PPT, I think. Just a minute. You are talking about this confidence interval, na?
Yeah, that 95% confidence.
This, yes. Yes, these are the confidence limit 3.59 and 5.16.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have test the value of 6.
Ma'am, what is the test value? I'm a little confused there. What is the test value? Is that the population mean we are referring to?
Yes, population mean.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, I want to repeat again over here. Confidence limit are the limits if in which our population parameter is expected to lie.
Okay.
If it lies between this limit, hypothesis accepted, and if it lies beyond that limit, hypothesis rejected. Like 6 value lies beyond this limit, na? It is more than 5.16, na?
Yeah.
Automatically our hypothesis got rejected, and it is also supported by the p-value.
Okay, clear.
And if we test the value 4,
okay,
so it got lies in between 3.59 and 5.16.
Clear.
It is there, na, 4. So it means we will accept the hypothesis.
Okay,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Clear, ma'am. Thank you so much, and very well explained.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, madam. We can go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, sir. So now we are moving further. We are moving towards the paired sample t-test. I have already explained you the meaning of the paired sample t-test. Like workshop का मैंने example दिया था, I already talked about. Paired sample means if we want to check the effectiveness of this workshop, so we will have to conduct a test of the participants before this workshop, and then finding out the mean, what would the performance on an average of the participants. And then after that workshop, on the same participant, mind it, in two paired sample t-test, participants would be same. If participants are not same, it would be independent sample t-test. So this is the main condition of the paired sample t-test, that whatever any kind of treatment or any kind of experiment we are going to carry upon, we will have the same number and same type of participants before and after. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना दवाई पहले 10 अलग बंदों को दे दी और फिर इफेक्टिवनेस के लिए कोई और 10 अलग बंदे हम चेक कर रहे हैं, ओके, या फिर वर्कशॉप के लिए कोई वर्कशॉप अटेंड किसी और ने करी और टेस्ट पहले किसी और का ले लिया, ऐसा नहीं होगा. इट शुड नॉट बी सच. ओके, so participants and the number of participants should be same in the before experiment and the after experiment. Okay, so we when we are going to check the effectiveness of something, we are going to check the any kind of efficiency of something before and after. We are going to compare the value before and any treatment and the after any treatment. We are going to apply two paired sample t-test. Okay, suppose in this example also, suppose I am having the same example and I took the 12 students. Okay, I took the 12 students and I recorded the study hours of those 12 students. And then I gave a motivational lecture to the students. And after giving that motivation lecture, after 4 or 5 days, and I again noted the study hours of those 12 students. So it means now I'm comparing the study hours initially for those 12 students with the study hours of those students after giving the motivational lecture. So both in both the times, students are same 12 and 12, and I have given a motivation lecture to the students. So I am interested in checking the effectiveness of my motivation lecture, whether my motivational lecture has got resulted, okay, in reducing the study hours or increasing the study hours, is effective or not. Okay, so I'm going back again to that file. Okay, so I'm closing this file. I have one other file as named as paired sample t-test. Okay, so I'm opening again MYSTAT. I'm going to attach the file that is open data. Okay, desktop. In desktop, here it is. All files. It is paired sample t-test. Okay, sheet 1. Okay, so these are the study hours. Okay, these are the study hours before orientation and the study hours after orientation. Okay, so I want to check whether my lecture would be effective or not. It can be effective, it cannot be effective sometimes. So I need to check the efficiency. So these are the steps: analyze, then hypothesis testing, then mean, then paired sample t-test. Okay, perform pair-wise comparison of mean of set of correlated variables. Okay, pair. ध्यान रखिएगा 12 लेफ्ट में तो 12 ही राइट में होने चाहिए, बोथ द रिस्पोंडेंट सेम होने चाहिए. Paired t-test before, this is after. Okay, okay, so this is the, देखिए, study hours before, and these are the study hours after. So whether there is a difference between the before and after, it is determined by this p value. Okay, this is the p value. P value kya hai? What does it indicate? It is low. P value low, let the hypothesis go. So what was the hypothesis? Hypothesis was there is no difference in the study hours. There is no difference in the study hours, and p value is low, hypothesis go. It means there is a significant difference between the study hours. Got it? There is a significant difference between the study hours before the motivation lecture and after the motivation lecture. Okay, or one more thing I would like to highlight over here. Okay, so just have a glance over it. This is 95% confidence interval. Okay, you can make out from the here only. This is the 95% confidence interval. Okay, so from here only you can say the mean lies between these two means lies between. Okay, so here our hypothesis is rejected. Okay, so when we talk about any kind of देखिए pairs जो sample t test है, it is actually it works upon the study of differences. It does not actually work on the actual value. It works on the differences. Okay, so it is very much depicted from here. This is the diagram. You can show this diagram in your research paper or research project. So this it actually works upon the differences. So these are the differences before and after. And p value indicates the differences before and after, and it is if p value low, let the hypothesis go. So there is a difference between the study hours before and after the motivation lecture. Okay, so this is the thing. आप इस तरह से you will report all these results, and I have already written these results in my PPT. Everything is given over here. You will find it. These are the steps, and everything is written over here. This difference is significant or not, it is indicated by the p value. Okay, so now we are moving further. We are moving the another test, that is ANOVA. Okay, when we talk about the t test, when we when we are intended towards making the comparison between only two groups. When the comparison of only two groups is there, we are going to apply the t test. But when the comparison of more than two groups is there, we are going to apply ANOVA. Okay, so let me tell this with the help of an example. Okay, I think board is visible to you. Board sabko dikh raha hai? Board is visible to you all?
Yes.
Okay, so let me make some difference between the t-test and the ANOVA. T-test. This is ANOVA. T-test, check the compare means. ANOVA also compare means. ये बहुत important बात है. बहुत सारे students ये भूल जाते हैं. They just have a look over the name, that is ANOVA. ANOVA means analysis of variance, and they used to say that ANOVA used to compare the variances. No, ANOVA also compare means, but t-test compare means of two categories, and ANOVA compare means of more than two categories. Suppose in this example, like here we are having the two categories, boys and girls. Suppose we are having one more category, like we have the data of the study hours of the student of the primary level, secondary level, and senior secondary level. So we are having three categories now. Okay, some of the students are from the primary level, some of the students are from the secondary level, and some of the students are from the senior secondary level. Okay, so we are having three types of students. Okay, so here what we are going to compare? We are going to compare mean of the study hours of the 3 types. So we are not going to apply over here t-test. We are going to apply over here ANOVA. Though we have the option, like we are having 3 categories, 1, 2, and 3. If 2 categories are there, we can perform the t-test. We still have the option. If we are having the 3 categories, we can also perform 3 t-tests. The first one is between 1 and 2. Second one is 2 and 3, and then 1 and 3. ABT test, ABT test, ABT test. In order to reduce that complexity, ANOVA is introduced. Because when we perform 3 t-tests, we lose degree of freedom every time. 1 degree of freedom here, n minus 1. Here n minus 1, here n minus 1. There will be chances of losing degree of freedom. And being a researcher, we do not want to lose our degree of freedom. So that is why, though you can perform these 3 t-tests, and you will get the same results, but it would be quite complex, lengthy process. In order to avoid this lengthy process, ANOVA is introduced. Okay, so there is no significant difference between the results of the t-test and ANOVA. Both are the same. But in order to have the results in a simple way, ANOVA is the substitute of t-test in case of 3 categories. Okay, the purpose of both the tests, that is t-test and ANOVA, both the test is same. Purpose is same, to compare the mean, and here also to compare the mean. So do not have just run after the name, that is ANOVA. ANOVA is a technique that uses variance in order to check the difference between the mean. That is why it is named after analysis of variance. It uses variance in its calculations to have the comparison between the means. No? So that is why it is called the ANOVA. The purpose of both the t-test and ANOVA are same. Both have made to make the comparison between the means, though t is used in case of 2 categories, and if 3 categories are there, instead of using 3 tests, we will use 1 test, that is ANOVA. Okay, so now we are going to perform the ANOVA. So it means I will be having 3 variables, 3 categories in my file now, because I'm going to perform the ANOVA. So I'm going again to MYSTAT software, and I'm closing this file. And I'm again attaching my ANOVA file to this file, open data. Desktop, then I am having 25 and click on the all files. Then I am having the example of ANOVA. Okay. Okay. So what does this sheet tells about? There are 2 variables. One is time, another is visitors. Suppose I'm taking this example in case of a mall. Suppose in a mall, the manager of mall wants to invite some kind of band. Band, समझते हैं? Band, extra live performances. So being a manager of a mall wants to invite some kind of band performances, live performances in his mall. So he wants to make out an idea about at what time people used to come more in number in the mall. Okay. So he noted the frequency of the persons, the number of visitors at 3 different times: morning, noon, and evening. Okay. So we have 3 categories over here. Time, 1 is morning, 2 is noon, 3 is evening. Okay. And in the morning, he noted down number of visitors. Okay. In the noon also, he noted down number of visitors, and in the evening also he noted down the number of visitors, because he wants to make a decision about at what time the visitors are coming more. There may be chances that the people are coming more in the lunch time. Okay, there may be chances that the visitors are coming more in the dinner time. Okay, so he want to make a decision about at what time he will invite the band or live performances, so that he would earn more. So he want to check the difference. He want to check the difference between the visitors uh, among the between the times like morning, noon, and the evening. Okay, so this is the main problem over here. So we need to, how many categories are over here in case of time variable? 3 categories. It means we want to compare, we want to make the comparison among 3 categories. In the independent sample t-test, we were having a comparison between 2 categories. Na? There is male and boys and the girls. So we perform independent sample t-test. But in case of ANOVA, here we are going to compare the number of visitors across 3 categories. That is morning, number of visitors in the morning, number of visitors in the noon, and the number of visitors in the evening. Okay. So now we are going to perform ANOVA. Okay. Is there any significant difference? Yes. We can have the okay, we can have the descriptive statistic also. Okay, basic. Okay, time. We can have the descriptive statistics also. You can click on the okay. How many in overall total visitors are there? Just a minute here. Okay. So these are the number of cases. 18 hai, and arithmetic mean is 27. On average, in total 27 visitors are there. So now we are going to perform the ANOVA, analysis of variance. Okay, click on this. Okay, visitors is a dependent, and time, on the basis of time we need to compare. This is factor. Okay, and now click on OK. So you can have a look over here. ये बहुत अच्छे diagram आते हैं इसमें. You will not find these diagrams in SPSS actually. Okay, so these are the visitors. If I can have a look over it. Okay, I'm taking this diagram to the board. Okay, this is the board. I think board is visible to you all.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many persons are there? I think near about 41 persons are in the third category, evening, and around about 22 are in the noon, and 17 are in the morning. Okay, so difference तो है, but is there any evening में सबसे ज्यादा आ रहे हैं, but ये by chance है या हम surely 95% confidence के साथ, whether we can say with the 95% confidence that in the evening people visitors are more as compared to noon and morning. So how we are going to make out this decision? So these are the results. After the start page, we are having one more sheet that is entitled, and the results are stored in this. Analysis of variance, ये है. So this is the p value. This is the p value. So I'm taking all these results on the board. I think these are visible. So this is the p value. So in ANOVA, there is an F test, analysis of variance. और जो variance test होता है जो हमने we did in the independent sample t-test variance test, that is also showing the F value. Okay, so here the F test is performed and the p value is 0.00. It is, and here the p value is less than 0.05. P value low, hypothesis go. And what was the hypothesis? There is no difference between the visitors on the basis of time. On the basis of time. But here her hypothesis is rejected. So this statement is rejected. It means there is a difference. इसको हटा दीजिए. It means there is a difference and it can be seen over here. We have more number in the evening as compared to noon and the morning. So what was the decision of that manager? That manager will invite the band or live performances at the time of evening. This is the results or the interpretation of our research problem. I think these things are clear to you all. So now session, that's all from my side regarding parametric test. Now session is open for the questions and answers. So we will take up the questions and answers, then poll questions, and then we will sum up the session. So any queries, any doubts from the participants?
Ma'am, I think there are two questions from the
Yes.
participants. Dr. Vinay Pandit sir, our IQAC coordinator, is asking how to label values in MYSTAT.
Okay.
If we would like to unmute,
yes.
sir, IT team.
Yes,
We
yes,
can
sir.
unmute.
I forgot. Actually, I forgot.
Yes, sir, I will do that.
Okay, these are the variables. Okay, you can write down over here. Okay,
Okay.
like these are the labels. You can do the same. Just a minute. You can.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
This is Dr. Vinay Pandit here.
Okay, sir.
My query was, we can see that value labels, right?
Yes, sir.
So suppose if at all in gender, if I want to write one as male and two as female, can we
Sir,
do it over here?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm doing exactly the same. You need to click on the
Okay,
value
okay.
labels. Okay. This is the value label of time. Okay. And now I am giving the value 1 for the, I'm getting 1 for the morning. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And maybe to visit.
एक minute,
Yes.
just a minute, sir. It will be here. Now, just a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay. ये ऊपर से बॉक्स दिख रहा है आपको इस बॉक्स से you need to click on that box then you will have
Okay. हाँ ठीक है.
then you
Correct.
will
वो add हो जाएगा और एक.
yes now no and then you will having the 3 that is evening. Okay.
ठीक है. All right, ma'am.
Okay, sir. And now if you will perform the same test तो आपका आ जाएगा इसमें. Okay, so you will have the same with the labels that the 1, 2 and 3 जो भी है आपका 3 levels.
All right, ma'am. Yeah.
ठीक है sir. और बताइए.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anything
Thank you,
else?
madam. There is one question from Aarti Modi, madam. Is ANOVA for population or sample?
Ma'am, we are performing the ANOVA on the data of the sample. And we are generalizing about the population.
Population.
Okay. We are generalizing about the population on the basis of the results of this sample. Okay, ma'am?
I think, Aarti madam, the query is resolved. Harvinder Singh ji, I didn't understand the question. I don't know whether ma'am would have. Where is used ANOVA and chi-square test? I didn't get that.
No.
Where it is used, are you trying to?
I got it, sir. I got it. Actually, this is the example. If I took this example, if I'll take this example only, like if in this example, we are having a data set. We are having this data, okay? One time is of the categorical and the visitors are there, okay? If we are having the category for the visitors also, like we are having the three options for the visitors: less than 15, 15 to 30, and more than 30. Okay, we are not having the actual data, we are having the categorical variable for the visitors also. That means it means for the time we are having categories, for the visitors we are having categories. Like if we are having visitors less than 15, so we all give those 1 1 1 1. Then if we are having visitors between 15 to 30, then 2 2 2, and then more than 30 3 3. We are coding the data. So it means we are having both the categorical variable time as well as the visitors. Then we can apply the chi-square test. So when both the variables are of the categorical nature, we can apply the chi-square test. We will discuss it tomorrow. And if we are having the one continuous data and the one categorical data, then we will apply ANOVA. Okay, sir.
Singh sir, I hope the query is resolved. Singh sir, you can post it in the chat box. Then, sir, there is one more question and then we'll take it, sir. Shashikala madam is asking, in result it is showing type IIISS. What is it?
Just a minute.
If you can see that second column, I think that what
ma'am, this is sum of squares, ma'am. Actually, this is sum of squares. Actually, ANOVA is basically related with the regression, actually, ma'am. So in the regression, we will have the sum of the squares and we have the residual terms that we may call it error term. So it is quite, it is a different part in the context of regression, actually. So here in ANOVA, we are just taking care of the p values and the f value. We are not talking about this because these are the things which need to be discussed when we have the lecture on the relationship between the ANOVA and the regression. Actually, so it will take time to understand these things, na? Sum of squares and all the error terms. What does it mean?
I think Vinay sir has a question, sir. You can unmute. Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes. One more query I wanted to ask. Yes, in one sample t-test, we normally assume the value, which is the hypothesized value.
Yes.
All right. Suppose if I take it as 6.
Okay.
And as I told that from my review of literature, I got to know that the value is 6 or 5.
Okay.
Now, in the thesis, is it mandatory to justify that? Do I need to justify why I have taken 6 or 5?
So you need to report all the reviews, the table of all the review of literature, na? The
correct
summary statistics of all the reviews, na? On the basis of what you are taking
that we can report. That will I will report. Suppose
definitely you can.
But so why I have correct? No.
Yes, definitely you can report.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yeah.
Can we unmute Paulami madam? She has a query.
Okay, she is the query, like, can
ma'am, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, like in paired t-test, you said that we can use two samples, right? Like 2 samples over there.
Okay.
Yeah, but like if you have more than 2 samples, like you have categories like how you said that we have like evening shift, morning shift, and all that. So 3 categories were there. Now, if between 3 categories, if I want to do a pre-test and a post,
ma'am, actually we are having so many. Actually, ma'am, we are having so many versions of the ANOVA, SUPNOVA, MANCOVA. So repeated measures on ANOVA. In that, we will do these kind of things. Repeated measures on ANOVA, pre and post across the 3 categories or 4 categories. Okay, like we used to conduct some kind of experiment लाइक जैसे वो होता है ना, ग्लूकोज टेस्ट होता है, आप आज करा के जाएंगे, 2 घंटे बाद फिर होगा, फिर 2 घंटे बाद होगा, फिर 2 घंटे बाद होगा. The stages are more. In that case, we use the higher versions of the ANOVA. Okay, we are having some other versions, repeated measures, ANOVA, SUPNOVA, MANCOVA. But due to some kind of time limit, we will not be able to cover up all those things. Because being a teacher, I think it's my duty to give you to throw a light on one corner. And being a researcher, it is your duty to explore the rest of the 3 corners. So I have given you the basics, and on the basis of that basics, you can explore further. Okay, ma'am? Because time limit is such that we cannot cover up the whole the things in 1.5 hours.
Ma'am, one last question. What is meta-analysis? What is meta-analysis?
So meta-analysis is basically review of literature को बहुत extensive form में, अपने रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर को ब्यूटिफिकेशन करने के लिए हम मेटा एनालिसिस करते हैं. कोई भी वर्ड कितनी बार कितने रिव्यूअर्स ने यूज किया है, कौन सी स्टडी कितनी बार हुई है, ईयर्स में हुआ है क्या, मतलब एक तरह से रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर को प्रेजेंट करने की टेक्निक है सर मेटा एनालिसिस.
True. Fine, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
I think we can have the poll. Aarti madam, I think ma'am has already explained how to get a better grasp on MYSTAT app. We have to.
Yes, sir.
How to get a better grasp on MYSTAT app.
Keep learning, sir. Keep exploring.
Yes, but it seems that it's a wonderful option as
Yes,
against
sir.
SPSS. That would be amazing. Yes, absolutely.
I personally liked it very much as compared to SPSS. I do not have any kind of ethical issues actually कि हम ये कर रहे हैं जिस तरह से, और this is very simple one.
True.
And you will definitely say now कि it is 99% similar to SPSS.
Yes, and with the diagrams and the accurate diagrams that we get, I think it goes very well.
Yes, sir.
Very
yes.
true. Very true. I think IT team, we can generate the poll for all.
Okay, sir. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Sir, done. There are total 3 questions.
Yeah, 3 questions. And I think how many minutes we can allot?
Sir, we can allot 4 minutes. Sir, within
4 minutes.
Because
4
3
minutes.
questions.
In the next 4 minutes, we would be winding up the poll. So I request all the participants to kindly give your polls quickly. Next 4 minutes. And now please don't allow anybody to come in, huh? Even I will not take any. I think around 30 people have given the answers.
Yes, sir.
I think we'll allow ma'am only to tell all the answers.
Yes, sir. Once the polling is done, then we will
Polling
launch
is done.
the
Yes,
results.
yes, we'll launch the results. It's actually a wonderful method where we get to know whether the session was truly fruitful, and participants are also enjoying. Thank you, Dora madam.
20 more people to go.
20 more people to go. I request all to kindly quick start your poll and wind it up. Don't worry. I think, ma'am, we can share your PPT with the participants, right? With your permission?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay. Then we will definitely share. Yes, yes, Chetna, madam, I will be sharing. I will be sharing. With the link for tomorrow, we will share the PPT of today. Okay. On the registered mail address.
And sir, please share the homework files also.
I have done that, ma'am, yesterday only. Although I told you that we will not, but there should not be any time gap. So there are homework files also for you all to practice. Jyoti madam, we will share the YouTube links as early as possible so people can do their homework for tomorrow.
Okay, so within half after the session is over, by 4 people will get the link.
Yeah, we will
Done.
share it.
Yeah. Twelve
Yes,
people
yes.
more quickly.
Gauri madam, we are sending. We are sending Gauri madam. Here it is. Feedback form is also sent.
I think 100% answered.
I think we are done with the poll, Jyoti madam. 4 minutes are done.
Yes, sir, but still 10 people are left. So we should end the poll, sir? Or we should give 30 seconds more?
De do chalo.
Okay. Last 30 seconds, then we are ending the poll.
Because then 110 queries of we experiencing not coming poll, ye wo nahi. We should.
Isn't it mandatory, sir, that they attend the poll?
Yes, they have to. But then after giving standing instructions, if somebody is ignoring, I can't help. I can't help. If we can't help, rather.
Sir, I will now end the poll.
In fact, there are 1 or 2 people who have not renamed themselves after repeated reminders. So I am not responsible, or the team is not responsible if the certificates are not issued.
Sir, I'm sharing the result.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, have you got the results on your screen?
Yes, yes, yes. I got the results, but I'm totally against the majority of the persons because just a minute. Answer is independent sample t-test. Actually, I deliberately framed this question so that people will get confused and then I will make them clear about the test. Because the question is such, a researcher measured people's psychological reactions to horror films. And he split the data into 2 groups, male and females. It means I'm talking about only 2 groups. And the data is normally distributed, so t-test will be applied over here. And the 2 groups are there, not the 3 groups. So only 2 groups are there. If it would have been 3 groups, then ANOVA would be there, but it's not as such. So there are 2 groups, men and women. Comparison is there, no before and after. So paired sample t-test will not be there. There is no population, so one sample t-test will not be there. The exact answer is independent sample t-test. Okay, sir?
Absolutely. I think people have got their answers. We now move on towards the flag end of the session. So I request Ms. Jayashree Parab, Assistant Professor, Department of BSc IT, to kindly propose the formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Jayashree.
Thank you so much, Rahul, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. On behalf of Organizing Committee of ICSSR, WRC, and Lala Lajpat Rai College of Commerce and Economics, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our today's resource person of both the session, Dr. Seema Malik. Madam started her session by touching the topic objectives of research, in which she explored the requirement of parametric tests in the area of research. Ma'am explained in detail the tests like 1 sample t-test, 2 independent sample t-test, 2 paired sample t-test, ANOVA. Because of practical examples, it became very easy for us to quickly grasp the concepts. In a very step-by-step manner, ma'am explored the technical aspect using softwares like MS Excel and MYSTAT. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us with such a great knowledge. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jayashree, and thank you, Seema, ma'am. Ma'am, there are 2 other questions which were there on the poll.
Yes, sir.
They want the answers for that also. I think we gave it, nahi?
Can you